It is the day Lynn Jackenheimer's family has been praying for. Good evening, I'm Lee Jordan.
I'm Leon Bibb, in tonight for Danita Harris. News Channel 5 was first on the scene as Nate Summerfield was taken into custody. News Channel 5's Paul Kiska kicks off our team coverage of this breaking story.
It looks like we may not have Paul. Do we have his story? Here's Paul.
Here in Ashland County, I want to reiterate, I have never covered a news conference quite like the one here today. Instead of only the news media being allowed into this news conference, the Ashland County Sheriff's Department opened their community center and allowed the family and friends of Lynn Jackenheimer to attend the news conference and to ask questions. And it was an emotional scene when it was officially announced this manhunt was over.
I have never seen a community like this and the pouring out of a community like this. Today, Ashland County brought Nate Summerfield to justice.
Applause erupt from more than 100 family and friends of Lynn Jackenheimer as authorities announced the capture of murder suspect Nate Summerfield.
9:30 this morning, Nate Summerfield was arrested not far from here. Nate Summerfield was in Medina County. He was at 810 High Street at the Legacy Inn, where he checked in under a fictitious name. He's been staying there for 1 day.
A combination of U.S. Marshals tracking Summerfield and a tip led authorities to the Medina County hotel room today. Authorities wouldn't say if they used a room key or other means to get into that room.
We always keep the element of surprise on our side, and we did in this case, and it worked to our advantage.
U.S. Marshal Pete Elliott said Summerfield had grown a full beard, offered no resistance, no comment, and had no weapon. Elliott said Summerfield's car was found in southwest Michigan August 8th and had been there 3 weeks.
If there is anybody that was helping Mr. Summerfield, they will be looking at possible federal charges of harboring.
This nationwide manhunt ended with Jackenheimer's loved ones expressing their emotions over today's arrest that went down peacefully. Not always the case with a fugitive.
Desperate people commit desperate acts with tragic consequences. In fact, half the police officers out there that have been killed, nearly half, who've been killed in line of duty, have been killed by fugitives on the run.
And again, 27-year-old Nate Summerfield sits behind bars in the Medina County Jail tonight, awaiting eventually extradition to North Carolina, where he faces charges of murder. Live in Ashland, Paul Kiska, News Channel 5.
Okay, Paul, thanks very much.
The disappearance and subsequent murder of Lynn Jackenheimer has held our interest for weeks.
It all began on July 7th. That's when Summerfield returned from a vacation in North Carolina with Jackenheimer's children, but she was nowhere to be found. Summerfield then disappeared.
On July the 12th, Jackenheimer's family went to North Carolina for the search. News Channel 5's Michael Baldwin also went to the Outer Banks. He spoke with Lynn's mother and stepfather several times in the following days.
On July 14th, a devastating development when an unidentified body was found in the Outer Banks. 2 days later, authorities identified the body as that of Lynn Jackenheimer.
Hundreds of people went to Lynn Jackenheimer's funeral, held in her hometown of Ashland. That was July 23rd.
And last week, authorities looked into reports of Summerfield sightings in West Virginia. Nate Summerfield was arrested in Medina County today. Now, you heard it earlier, an unusual round of applause at the news conference announcing Summerfield's arrest. That applause came from Lynn Jackenheimer's family and friends, awaiting word of his capture. News Channel 5's Tracy Carlos continues our team coverage in Ashland. And Tracy, you spoke with some of those who knew Lynn Jackenheimer.
Yeah, Lee, I did. You know, Lynn's stepdad got the news that Summerfield had been arrested when the U.S. Marshal and the sheriff here came knocking at their door this morning to tell them. Tonight, they are overjoyed that this long search is finally over. Hugs and cheers for the friends and family of Lynn Jackenheimer.
Relief that she's resting. She can rest in peace now. We can hopefully rest a little at night, and it doesn't ease my pain as far as my daughter, but it helps.
Nate Summerfield has been on the run for more than a month. The fine Nate t-shirts have been changed to captured, and there are signs some in this tiny town of Ashland are relieved that the search is over. His arrest closes one chapter for the family and opens another.
Glad he's caught. It's his turn to pay for what he has done.
Honestly, I've been waiting for the long process. That's where my answers are. That's probably the only thing that I've really been waiting for is him to get caught so we can know what happened, how it happened, and why it happened.
Those answers won't come fast enough for Jackenheimer's family. The 33-year-old mother leaves behind a 3-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter who are brokenhearted.
She is a very good person, and I don't know what to do without her.
Now the search is over, the legal proceedings begin, and Lynn's family tells me that they will be there for that as well. Live in Ashland, Tracy Carlos, News Channel 5.
All right, Tracy, quick question. Did Lynn's family have any comment about the fact that Summerfield was found so close to home? Any people were a little surprised about that?
You know, her mom said that they always thought that he would still be in Ohio. Over the weekend, a sister said maybe that they were in they thought that maybe he was in West Virginia. They had heard those rumors. But they said they always had a gut feeling that he was never far from here.
Very interesting. Tracy Carlos in Ashland tonight. Thanks, Tracy. Well, details of today's arrest keep coming in, and they get more and more fascinating. Stay with us. Coming up tonight at 6, investigator Ron Regan has exclusive information and pictures. We'll hear from the hotel maid who witnessed this morning's dramatic arrest. Plus, you'll see the hotel ledger and the name Summerfield signed for that room. And we'll give you a first-hand look inside Summerfield's hotel room. That's ahead tonight at News Channel 5 at 6. News Channel 5 and NewsNet5.com have been following this story from the start, from the initial report of Lynn Jackenheimer's disappearance to the search for her in North Carolina and then the search for Nate Summerfield across Ohio. You can find complete coverage of this story on NewsNet5.com.